Here are Grandpa's 42 hacks to unlimited heat for your home with no electric needed. Rocket Mass Heater. A rocket mass heater burns wood so efficiently that almost no smoke escapes. Build one using fire brick and steel pipe, then connect the exhaust through a cob or brick bench to store radiant heat. Grandpa built his first in the shed, calling it the stove that keeps on giving. Use dry wood for the cleanest burn and scrape ash weekly to keep airflow strong. Adjust your exhaust for a steady draw. The heat it holds feels endless, but what if you could harness the sun's power instead using nothing but smart design? Kettle on stove, humid heat. Did you know adding moisture makes a room feel noticeably warmer? Set a cast iron kettle on your stove and fill it halfway with water. As it simmers, the steam softens dry winter air and reduces static. Toss in cinnamon sticks or citrus peels for a faint, cozy scent. Use distilled water to keep mineral buildup away and never let it run dry. This simple trick balances the air beautifully. But what if you could go beyond passive heating and actively trap the sun's heat for even better results? Grandpa had a trick for that too. Thermal mass bench. A thermal mass bench captures heat and releases it slowly through the night. Build it with cob, brick, or stone, and run metal flues beneath to carry warmth from your stove. Seal gaps with clay for better insulation and place it near common seating for comfort. Dust ducts regularly so the air moves freely. The bench becomes a living radiator once it's warmed. But not every heating trick needs high-tech materials. Sometimes even simple clay pots can do the job. DIY Solar Air Heater Box. Build a solar air heater box to turn sunlight into steady warmth. Make a wooden frame 4 inches deep, paint the interior black, and cover it with clear glass or polycarbonate. Cut an intake vent low and an outlet vent high for airflow. Grandpa once built his from tin cans, and it worked all winter long. Seal every joint tightly to prevent leaks and loss. When the sun dips, the warmth holds longer than you'd think. And if you're looking to keep that heat from escaping, the right kind of window covering can make all the difference. Black water barrel solar storage. Black water barrels are nature's slow-burn heaters. Fill several large barrels with water, paint them matte black, and set them by sunny windows. During the day, they absorb solar warmth. At night, they release it back into the room. Keep lids tight to stop evaporation, and wipe the barrels clean to prevent algae. Use a small fan to move air around for better coverage. Cold air sneaking through windows is bad enough, but what about that constant draft under doors? There's a simple fix for that, too. Stone-filled heat box. Grandpa swore by his old stone heat box, a sturdy wooden chest lined with fire brick and packed with smooth river stones. He'd place it beside the stove to let the rigatol box soak in warmth through the day, then close the lid at night to release it slowly. Use dense stones like basalt or granite for better retention. Drill a small vent hole in the side to control the heat's release. The box stays warm for hours after the fire dies. But what if you could bury that heat beneath your feet? Sandbed thermal storage. A sandbed stores radiant heat that rises steadily through the floor. Create a shallow pit under the floorboards and fill it with dry, fine sand. Run metal or clay pipes through it from your heater to channel warm air. Seal the edges to prevent heat loss into the ground. Once warmed, the sand radiates for hours. Test temperatures carefully to avoid overheating wood surfaces. It's silent, invisible comfort that lasts well past midnight. But some prefer to capture that same strength straight into their walls instead. Terracotta tile heat wall. Terracotta tiles hold and radiate heat beautifully when placed behind a stove or heater. Mount them with a small air gap between tile and wall to allow convection flow. Choose thick, unglazed tiles. They retain warmth longer. Wipe them clean of dust to boost thermal performance. Once heated, they'll continue radiating for hours, giving off a steady, earthy glow. You can even pattern the tiles for a rustic touch. Passive and beautiful, it transforms your space quietly. But there's a trick that brings old radiators back to life again. Black painted radiator trick. Painting your radiator black helps it emit more infrared heat instead of wasting energy through reflection. Use matte, heat-resistant paint and cover every surface evenly. Turn off the radiator and let it cool before painting. Once dry, test the temperature difference. It radiates heat faster and more efficiently. Placing a reflective foil board behind it sends warmth back into the room. Keep dust off the fins for smoother airflow. A simple coat of paint can make a real difference, but soft fabric above it can do even more. Curtain pelmet insulation. A pelmet, a box or shelf above your curtain, stops warm air from escaping between fabric and window. Install a simple wood or foam board strip across the top of the curtain rail. Make sure it's snug against the wall to trap air below the drape. Heavy curtains help seal out drafts better than sheer ones. Close them at sunset to keep heat inside. You can even line pelmets with adhesive insulation strips for extra hold. Passive insulation is clever, but your home can do far more than just hold warmth. Interior storm windows. Interior storm windows create an invisible thermal shield for your home. Cut clear acrylic or plexiglass to match each frame, then seal edges with magnetic strips or removable weather tape. The trapped air pocket reduces heat loss and muffles outside noise. Clean the glass before mounting to prevent condensation. Add foam weather tape for an even tighter seal. Remove and store flat in spring to keep them straight. Cold air sneaking through windows is bad enough, but what if your warmth could travel with you instead? Sheepskin throws. Natural sheepskin locks in warmth while staying soft and breathable. Drape it across a bed, couch, or favorite chair to block cold from hard surfaces. Shake it out often to keep fibers fluffy and clean. Spot clean, gently using mild soap and water, and let it dry away from direct sunlight. Place small hides under rugs or seat cushions for extra warmth beneath your feet. But not every cozy secret hides in plain sight. Some warmth starts where you'd least expect it. Wool boot liners. Wool boot liners trap heat while wicking moisture away from your skin. Cut thick felted wool to match your boot shape, trimming edges neatly. Air them out after each wear to keep them dry. Hand wash occasionally in cool water and let them air dry flat. Replace yearly for consistent insulation. Pair with breathable socks to avoid dampness. A few steps feel instantly warmer, but sometimes heat isn't found in your shoes at all. It's something you can make with your own hands. Heated rice socks. A rice sock is a quick fix for cold fingers or aching muscles. Fill a clean cotton sock 3/4 full of dry rice and tie a tight knot. Microwave for 2 minutes, then test before applying. The grains release gentle warmth that lasts nearly an hour. Add a few drops of lavender or eucalyptus oil for calm relief. Keep it dry between uses to prevent spoilage. It's handmade comfort at its simplest, but some prefer a version that lasts longer and holds heat like a charm. Hot grain bags. Hot grain bags store heat beautifully and mold to your body's shape. Fill a sturdy cotton pouch with flaxseed or barley, then sew it shut securely. Microwave for 2 to 3 minutes, shaking halfway for even warmth. Slip it into a washable cover for easy care. Add herbs like chamomile or mint for soothing aromatherapy. Use it for cold nights or muscle tension relief. It's soft, lasting comfort at its best. But what if your home could hold that same kind of warmth, naturally and endlessly? Brick-lined stovetop oven. A brick-lined stovetop oven captures and radiates heat evenly, perfect for slow cooking or keeping meals warm. Stack fire bricks or dense tiles around the burner's base, leaving a vent space for airflow. Place a metal baking sheet on top to spread heat uniformly. Clean the bricks occasionally to prevent soot buildup. Use an oven thermometer to track temperature for consistent baking. This setup keeps heat longer than metal alone, but not every clever heating trick belongs in the kitchen. Some are built right into your stove itself. Cast iron heat plates. Cast iron heat plates absorb and radiate warmth long after the burner turns off. Set them on a stove or heating source to retain steady, radiant heat through the evening. Wipe them clean of dust before use to prevent smoking. A thin coat of oil after cooling keeps rust away. Stack 2 plates for extended warmth or move one to another room for gentle, radiant heat. They're reliable and simple, yet sometimes warmth works best when it multitasks as part of your daily routine. Radiator drying rack warming. Turn your radiator into a gentle clothes dryer and heat booster. Hang a rack or bar just above the surface, allowing air to circulate freely around the items. Avoid placing fabric directly on the radiator to prevent blocking heat or creating musty odors. Rotate damp clothes every hour for faster drying. Choose lightweight fabrics to dry quickly without overloading the rack. It's functional and cozy at once, but heat doesn't always come from metal. Sometimes it starts from something far simpler, underfoot. Heated pebble tray. Did you know that pebbles retain and release heat gradually, making them perfect for warming small spaces? Fill a shallow tray with smooth stones and place it on a windowsill or near a heat source. Pour a small amount of hot water over the stones to create gentle, radiant warmth and subtle humidity. Rinse the pebbles occasionally to keep them clean and mineral-free. Try larger river stones for longer heat retention. Passive and natural, it's warmth at its purest, but there's a way to trap that comfort around you entirely. Thermal tent over bed. A thermal tent keeps body heat close while you sleep, creating a mini microclimate inside your room. Drape a thick blanket or lightweight canopy over a simple frame built above your bed. Leave a small gap near your head for airflow. Layer bedding underneath to trap warmth efficiently. Check for drafts before sealing the sides. Add a hot water bottle inside for instant coziness. It's old-fashioned ingenuity meeting modern comfort. But what if warmth could come not from your bed, but from the air itself? Insulated bed canopy. Creating an insulated bed canopy turns your sleeping space into a warm cocoon. Drape thick blankets or insulated fabric over a lightweight frame above your bed, leaving an opening at the top for airflow. Secure the sides tightly to trap rising body heat through the night. Add reflective foil or a thermal layer to the inside for extra insulation. Weigh down the bottom edges with clips or small rods to prevent drafts. It's an effortless way to turn your bed into a mini heat zone. But windows hold an even bigger secret. Insulated window shutters. Insulated window shutters act as movable thermal walls. Cut rigid foam boards or recycled wood panels to fit each window snugly. Cover them with fabric or wallpaper to match your interior. Mount on hinges or simple brackets so they swing closed at night. Seal edges with weather stripping to stop cold leaks. For added warmth, attach reflective film to face indoors. These shutters trap heat just like a sealed chest, keeping rooms cozy long after dark, but not every window needs panels. Sometimes, old-fashioned wood can do the job even better. Heavy wooden window covers. Solid wooden window covers add rustic insulation and timeless charm. Build them from thick planks, fitted to overlap the frame for a perfect seal. Add felt or rubber gaskets around the edges to block drafts completely. When closed at night, they act like mini storm barriers. Apply varnish to protect from moisture and warping. Add simple latches to secure them tightly. The warmth they preserve feels like a hug from your walls, but for those who prefer something softer, there's a flexible fix that works just as well. Double-layer cat-proof curtains. Double-layer curtains provide warmth and durability even against curious claws. Hang 2 fabric layers, an outer decorative curtain, and a thick insulated liner behind it. Use sturdy hooks or rods to hold the extra weight. Choose heavy cotton, velvet, or thermal fabric for best insulation. Sew the bottom hem tight to prevent pets from catching it. Clean both layers regularly to remove dust that reduces insulation. The effect is both cozy and elegant, but fabric doesn't just belong on windows. It can warm entire walls too. Quilted wall hangings. Quilted wall hangings double as art and insulation. Choose thick batting sandwiched between decorative fabrics and stitch in a pattern for stability. Mount them on exterior-facing walls where heat loss is greatest. Secure corners firmly so air doesn't slip behind them. Dust or vacuum occasionally to keep fibers fluffy. Use neutral tones or patterns to complement your space. The quilts absorb sound and trap heat alike. It's a quiet, beautiful layer of warmth, but the next trick shows how to make that same idea work across an entire home. Foam board window plugs. Foam board window plugs are quick, low-cost shields against winter drafts. Cut thick insulation board to match your window frame exactly, then wrap it in fabric for a cleaner finish. Press it in snugly each night and remove during the day for light. Add a pull tab to make it easier to lift. Check the fit every few weeks as foam can compress slightly over time. This setup seals tight and keeps warmth inside, and also reminds you that gaps don't just hide in windows. Sometimes they sneak right through your doors. Foam pipe insulation on door frames. Foam pipe insulation can double as a perfect door seal. Slice the tubing lengthwise, then press it firmly along the frame edges where light or air shows through. Cut corners cleanly so the door closes smooth. For longer life, secure with weatherproof tape or adhesive. Replace it once the foam starts to flatten. It's one of those fixes that take minutes yet pay off instantly. Cold air won't stand a chance here, though heat escaping upward can still undo all your hard work if left unchecked. Insulated attic hatch cover. The attic hatch often leaks more heat than any window. Measure the lid, cut a rigid foam panel slightly larger, and attach weather stripping to its edges. Glue reflective foil to the top to bounce heat back into the room. Seal the seams tightly so no air slips past. Inspect it every winter to be sure it still fits snugly. This easy fix stops warmth from rising out of reach, saving you plenty of fuel. And once you've sealed the ceiling, it's time to think about the space right beneath it. Doorway wool curtain. A thick wool curtain across a doorway traps warmth between rooms beautifully. Hang a solid rod above the frame and let the fabric drape just to the floor. Sew weights into the bottom hem for a tighter seal. Choose dense weaves like felt or heavy wool for the best results. Wash or vacuum it occasionally to keep fibers full and fluffy. It's a soft wall of insulation that swings easily aside, and also a reminder that heat sometimes escapes in places far less obvious than doors. Weighted fireplace cover. A weighted fireplace cover keeps your room from losing heat when the fire's gone cold. Cut a fireproof fabric or leather panel to fit snugly inside the hearth opening. Sew small metal bars along the edge so it hangs tight. Grandpa always said a sealed fireplace was like putting a lid on a kettle. It just made sense. Add a magnetic strip for easy removal before lighting again. It holds the warmth steady for hours. Then again, there's a way to make those last embers work even harder. Fireproof ember oven near wood stove. A fireproof ember oven stores and reuses fading heat long after the flames die. Build a small metal box lined with fire brick, set near your wood stove, and let it absorb radiant warmth. Use it to dry mittens, proof dough, or slowly bake food overnight. Keep the lid vented to prevent overheating. A small thermometer helps monitor safe temperature. It's a smart way to harvest heat you'd otherwise lose, and the next idea burns brighter using nothing more than candles and clever design. Candle lantern heater. A candle lantern heater transforms gentle flame into radiant comfort. Stack 3 unglazed clay pots of different sizes over metal spacers on a brick base. Place a few tea lights below and let the clay absorb the rising warmth. It radiates for hours after the flames go out. Use sand in the base for extra stability and never leave it unattended. The soft, glowing heat feels surprisingly strong for its size. Passive heating doesn't get simpler than this, and yet nature itself still holds a few warmer secrets. Stoneware jugs of hot water. Stoneware jugs are timeless heaters that hold warmth deep into the night. Fill each jug with boiling water, seal the lid, and wrap it in a towel. Set it under blankets or beside your chair to radiate gentle heat for hours. Always place it on a coaster to avoid moisture marks. Refresh it nightly to keep temperatures steady. This small ritual brings steady comfort on cold evenings. And it makes you wonder, what if you could capture that same heat using something even simpler? Heated sand bottles. Heated sand bottles give you long-lasting warmth without the worry of leaks. Fill metal or glass bottles with dry sand, then warm them by a stove or oven until hot. Wrap in fabric to protect your skin, and stir the sand occasionally to prevent moisture buildup. These bottles retain heat longer than water ones and are endlessly reusable. They're simple, safe, and satisfying. Still, heat doesn't have to come from bottles or bricks. Sometimes the very space around your bed can hold it in for you. Insulated sleeping alcove. An insulated sleeping alcove turns your bed into a cozy cocoon. Drape heavy curtains or foam panels along the walls and hang a canopy to trap body heat. Use wool or cotton fabrics for breathability. Keep the area clean and dry to avoid mustiness. Even a single low lamp or candle lantern can raise the temperature a few degrees. It's like sleeping in a soft, sealed nest. And also, if your home doesn't have the space for such setup, a smaller version might surprise you. Closet micro bedroom. Transforming a closet into a warm retreat is simpler than it sounds. Clear it out, add a thick rug or foam underlay, and hang insulated curtains for privacy. A slim bed or sleeping pad fits neatly, surrounded by soft, heat-holding materials. Keep a small vent or opening at the top for airflow. Wipe surfaces often to prevent condensation buildup. The compact warmth feels calming and secure. Then again, warmth isn't only about the space, it's also about shaping airflow so that every bit of heat stays where you want it. Accordion room dividers for heat zoning. Accordion dividers let you create warmth zones anywhere. Set them between rooms to contain heat where you need it most. Use fabric or insulated panels and adjust their angle to reflect air back into the living space. Clean the panels regularly for better efficiency. They're lightweight, flexible, and fold away in seconds. This setup helps you reshape warmth rather than chase it from room to room. And that's where the next trick steps in, showing how simple control can outsmart even the coldest air. Reflective emergency blankets on walls. Did you know that reflective mylar blankets can reflect up to 97% of radiant heat? Tape or tack them onto walls behind radiators or near heat sources to bounce warmth back into the room. Cut them to size, smooth out creases, and overlap edges slightly for a solid barrier. For better results, leave a small air gap between the wall and the blanket to improve reflection. It's an inexpensive way to boost indoor warmth dramatically. Still, sometimes the secret isn't in reflection, it's in storing heat like a battery. Thermal mass water jugs near heater. Grandpa always placed filled water jugs beside the wood stove at night to hold the day's heat. Use large dark-colored jugs filled with water and set them close to your heater or radiator. Water absorbs and slowly releases warmth over time, keeping nearby air steady. Make sure caps are tightly sealed to prevent evaporation. Rotate the jugs occasionally for even heating. You can even stack bricks around them to extend the heat period. And if walls can store warmth, what happens when the very fabric around them does the same? Wool rugs hung as wall tapestries. Thick wool rugs can double as wall insulation in art. Hang them on exterior walls using sturdy rods or clips, leaving a slight gap for trapped air. This added layer blocks drafts and keeps radiant heat from escaping. Shake or vacuum the rugs occasionally to prevent dust buildup. Choose darker colors. They absorb more warmth during the day. It's a beautiful blend of comfort and efficiency. And when windows start letting the chill creep in again, the next idea keeps it from ever reaching your walls. Draft-blocking window snakes. Draft snakes are simple tubes of fabric filled with rice, sand, or dried beans. Sew or fill long socks, then place them snugly along window sills or at door bottoms to stop cold air in its tracks. Replace fillings yearly to prevent moisture or mildew. You can even add a few drops of essential oil for a fresh scent. It's quick, cheap, and effective insulation. Then again, sometimes the best warmth doesn't come from blocking cold. It comes from holding heat right in your hands. Heated soapstone hand warmers. Soapstone hand warmers are small, reusable, and naturally heat-retaining. Place them near your heater, fireplace, or on a stove's edge until they're comfortably warm to the touch. Wrap in cloth before holding to prevent burns. The dense stone releases steady heat for hours, perfect for pockets or bedside warmth. Store them dry to prevent cracking. Keep a few ready for cold mornings. They're timeless comfort made simple. And once you've mastered holding warmth this way, imagine scaling it up to heat an entire corner of your home.